Hello, tested friends and fellow makers. You've got Bill in my shop up in Seattle today, and I want to talk about my favorite things of 2025. The first thing I want to cover, just the shows and video games that I was way into this year. There's only a couple, but I really want to talk about them. The first one, of course, is Andor, because it was astonishing and also sent us on a journey of watching all the original, or Rogue One, all the original trilogy, and then Indiana Jones. It was so good. 2 solid seasons of the show. There's a ton of props and costumes that I really want to make from Andor. Probably starting with Andor's blaster, and I will hopefully be making that soon. So Andor, first and favorite show, but the second one that is my favorite this year that is going on right now is Pluribus. And I'd love to tell you more about it, but I'd actually rather not. My friend Brian Brushwood dragged me into it without knowing anything about it, and I'm so happy that he did, because it was a complete surprise. It's made by Vince Gilligan, the guy that did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, so it's got a great team working on it, and it's just so much fun to watch and then talk about in between the episodes. My wife Brittany and I are completely obsessed with it, and whenever we go on a walk, it's all we're talking about, speculating about the show, and trying to figure out what's going to happen next. That's all I want to spoil for the show. I think it's on Apple TV. Please go check it out. You'll really enjoy it. I totally did too. I did play a lot of video games this year. I've been very into our survival crafting games. The one that really stood out for me was Dune Awakening. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It launched really strong and then kind of tapered off a bit. But I played it over the last couple of months, and I'm completely engrossed into the world. You're on Arrakis, of course. It's Atreides versus Harkonnen in sort of an alternate timeline. And you get to do all the Dune stuff. You start as just a person running around in the sand, sort of scuttling from one safe rock to the other, kind of like in Tremors, avoiding sandworms and scooping up materials to build a little base. And then eventually little vehicles so that you can scoot around Arrakis, gather more and more stuff as you eventually head out into the deep desert with your ornithopter to harvest spice. Of course, that's the whole driving force behind Dune. So I got way into it. It's technically an MMO. You can play with a lot of other people. There aren't a ton of people in the game now playing, but as sort of a single player experience, it's still a ton of fun. So if you want to escape the real world and head to Arrakis for a little while, I recommend it. I think it's like 40 bucks on Steam or something. It'll probably have a sale at some point. Please check out Dune Awakening. I got completely obsessed with it this year. Of course, my favorite things wouldn't be complete without showing off some technology, and I have a new camera. This is the Nikon F4, state-of-the-art circa 1988. That's right, this is a film camera. Joey has been not pressuring me, but influencing me, some of my other friends who are getting back into film. And this is the first of probably many cameras that I got. I put my Nikon 50mm 1.4 lens on here, and this thing takes gorgeous photographs. It's got a battery in there, but there's so many mechanical bits and doodads that, like, this whole thing on the top comes apart, and there's mirrors so you can see the aperture down there, and everything about this was such a clever design at the time, and this was the very best film camera you could get back then. It has almost every single feature that my modern DSLR has, which is really cool. I took this thing to Las Vegas and grabbed a bunch of photos there with my pals, and then I went to Open Source this year for the first time, and of course I brought my film camera to take super cool photos while we were all hanging out at Open Source. Adam had a get-together at the cave, so I got to take a bunch of photos there, which was super fun. And then I got to hang out with a bunch of other YouTuber maker friends at Open Source, and we got a bunch of photos there as well. I even got to talk to Destin Sandlin from Smarter Every Day about film photography, which he is very into, and he offered to take my picture with my camera. So I even got a film photo of me along with my pal Alexander from his YouTube channel, Alexander Chappell. So film, I am way into this. I've been taking the photos and sending them out to a website. This is thedarkroom.com. thedarkroom.com, I think. Yeah, thedarkroom.com. And they process the photos and send me my negatives back, which is really cool. If I want to do any photo processing myself, I have the negatives. But they also scan them for me, so I just have scans, digital scans of all my photos from my trip. So I've got a bunch of shots here from Vegas, a bunch from Open Sauce and the cave, and then I even got to go back to the cave this fall for a project with Autodesk. I took my camera there too and got a few more photos. I have so much fun with film. Only having a couple dozen photos to take means I would line up a shot and then decide not to take it. Try and make sure every single one of them is special. So I've been having the most thrilling time with this, not taking photos or selectively taking photos. So much fun. I gotta order some more rolls and go start taking some more shots. Eventually I would like to get back into black and white photography. Did that a bunch when I was a teenager. I figure I could put together my own darkroom right down here in the basement and process my own black and white photos, which would be a ton of fun. So look forward to maybe some more of my photos on Instagram being from my film camera, and maybe even some black and white stuff in the future. That'll be a lot of fun. Now I mentioned Open Sauce. What a great event. I believe it was the third year. This is my first time going, and it was definitely one of my favorite things of the year. It's the perfect cross-section or intersection of Maker Faire and VidCon. And all of the content creators that were there, or most of them anyway, friends of mine. So it was almost like a family gathering, but it was the kind of place where I got to have a lot of the sort of particular conversations that YouTubers get to make, specifically maker YouTubers. There's a lot of hyper-specific conversations we got to have with our friends out there. I got to meet friends that I had only known online for a long time, folks from other countries like Ivan Miranda, and I got to make a bunch of new pals too. So Open Sauce was terrific. I'm hoping and planning to go back this in 2026. It should be a ton of fun. Another fun thing I got to do this year, something a little different, is some ceramics. That's right, pottery. These are some pieces that I made along with my mom. Well, this one here that I'm holding is a Ruth Bader Ginsburg mug that she made and sent to me, which was really cool. However, Brittany and I were visiting my folks this summer, and we figured, let's shoot a pottery video with mom. If you check out the Punished Props YouTube channel, you'll see we have a video over there on how I made this bowl. Isn't it great? My mom helped. This is, I believe, the first bowl I've thrown in probably 30 years, and it turned out pretty okay. I'm really happy with it. We did the throwing there, and then mom fired and glazed it and mailed it to me. We did bowls, and then also Brittany and I got to make plates. This was really cool. We used a rolling pin to roll out the clay as it was being turned on the pottery wheel. And then we put a little stamp in the middle, this stamp here that I cut out on my CNC machine. So Brittany and I each made one for ourselves. And again, mom fired, glazed, and sent these to us. Oh, look at that. They're even signed on the back. Bill and Britt. Oop. This one here is another one that my mom made. I made a Punished Prop stamp. And she made a bunch of these giant mugs for us and sent them our way. These things are awesome. If we take care of them, they will last longer than we will. And it's a ton of fun just sitting at the wheel and playing with clay. So much fun. So thanks, Mom, for all the help. And again, we got that video over on our YouTube channel if you want to see how we made them. If pottery seems interesting to you, I'm sure there's someone within 20 miles of where you live that has a school or a group where they meet and play with clay. Look around and try it out. For real, it's therapeutic, it's fun, and you always end up with something neat that makes a great gift. That's what my mom does. She makes tons of gifts. Pottery. Of course, this list wouldn't be complete without some tools, and I have a couple of tools here that are made by a friend of mine. Now, I've had these for a few years, but I wanted to show them off this year because they're really, really cool and super useful. These are a tool called the Bev-All. There's a couple of versions here. It's for cutting consistent bevels, usually in EVA foam. My friend Jacob LaRocca invented these and he sells them on his website. You can look up Rocket Props, you'll see all of his stuff. The idea is you use an existing knife that you have and you put it in the tool. So that the blade is protruding as far as you want it to, and then you can set the angle that you'd like to cut. Then when you make your cut, it'll make a perfect angle. Oh, that's a little deep. Let's shorten it a tiny bit. There we go. And then we make a cut. And it makes just a perfect bevel along that cut. What I really love about this, now straight edges, not so hard. If you have a knife, you could cut it by hand. But if you have to make a beveled, curved cut, you could just follow a line and cut that angle perfectly the whole way. It's so, so good. So this, again, it's called the Bevel. If you look that up, you'll find it, Rocket Props. He makes a version for a normal X-Acto knife, and then this one here holds these smaller blades, and I believe he's working on other blade sizes. It's just that sort of thing that I keep in my bin, and I don't use it every day until that day when I need it, and I want to cut a perfect bevel. Very cool tool. I love seeing people invent their own solutions for problems that they have and then making them into products for other people so that they can take advantage of how useful they are. So thanks, Jacob. Please go check out his bevel. Okay, he's been sitting here the whole time. My last favorite thing of the year is Bender. This is my big project of the year. And
oh, nerds!
And he's awesome and he talks. Again, over on Punish Props Academy YouTube channel, you'll see we have a whole series on this build and how I put him together. This is a project that I brought to Dragon Con, and he was just an absolute hit. He's built on an RC car, so we can drive him around. I've got this crazy controller here. The folks at Kyber Control helped me set up the controls for this thing, and I bought this controller from them. There's buttons on here, and if I tap one,
hello, peasants.
He'll say that line, and he gets animated. This was so much fun to put together and so satisfying to be able to perform with him at Dragon Con and interface with other people. He's got all kinds of lines. Let's see, how do I go to 2?
B-E-N-D-E-R, Bender.
Yeah.
Well, we're bones.
Classic lines.
Oh, what? Look at me, look.
Right, so I have like 30 of these lines. I could just roll around the convention and he would look at people and talk at them and get a laugh every single time. He was tons of fun in the elevator and a real hit. The best thing about this project is that this is version 1. And the sky's the limit. I already have a huge list of accessories I want to build for him, like sunglasses or a cigar or a flame that shoots out of his mouth or a rust beard. I want to add like lighting to the car. This is a project that I get to work on for the foreseeable future, and it gets to be this amazing creative outlet. This guy yearns for accessories. In fact, if you have any fun ideas about accessories I could add to Bender, please let me know. I got the idea to put a screwdriver in his antenna from the comments on our videos. So I love getting feedback about this project because it sparks so many fun, neat, silly, and whimsical ideas. Let's see, can I get him to say a goodbye? Yeah, that'll wrap it up from us in our shop and all of my favorite things this year. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, whether it's in our cave here or the cave down in San Francisco. What do you gotta say, Bender?
So long, coffin stuffers.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I hope you have a great 2026. We'll see you there.
Thank you guys so much for watching. One of my favorite things we make in our tested store are Demerit badges. These are like scout badges, but for screwing stuff up, because screwing up is not just a part of the making process, it is intrinsic to it, and we like to celebrate that. We've got 27 so far in the Supervisors bundle that you can go buy right now by clicking on the link in the description, but we also have a booster pack of some brand new patches. This is the Demerit badge for burning off your eyebrow. I am proudly sewing that to all of my clothes. This is the Demerit badge for having a messy workbench, which I do not get today. My workbench is super clean. And we have new octagonal patches that are, merit badges. This is the merit badge for sweeping up your shop. Congratulations, I'm so proud of you. And this, oh my God, this is great. This is the merit badge for creating a clean space on your bench. Hey, we got to take our successes where they come and meet them there. Go to the tested-store.com or adamsavage.com to buy any of these, or click on a link in the description.